What's up? It's me, the devil. That's a little Snap Cube Shadow the Hedgehog reference. That's all. That's all. That is all. That is all the references. So, hey, what up? What it does? What goes? How's it going? We're reading the Bible today. Oh boy, I'm excited. I hope you're excited because I'm excited. We are reading the Bible today. Oh wow. So kids, grab your little Bibles, grab a snack, and hey, if you're watching this little funny little live stream, um, um you know when you do your little Bible studies with you and your pals, everyone's reading their own little versions, you're reading I'm reading the NRSV and you're reading the whatever silly little versions you're reading. And we all kind of like take turns, you read a verse and I read a verse, or I read a passage and then you read a passage. And everyone's like reading in like different versions. You're trying to like follow along with like oh crap, I got lost because we're speaking different words. Yeah, do that. Whip out your little silly little Bibles today and maybe we can read along together. Doesn't that sound exciting and fun? Hey Raf, how you doing? Like good to see you. Who even reads their Bibles anymore? I don't know. Not me. Not this guy. I'm too Protestant for that these days. Actually, too modern, contemporary Western these days. So, well, what can you do? And hey, if you're reading your own Bible while we read the message together, let us know in the chat below which version are you currently reading. I like to read the NRSV. That's my favorite. So that's all. And we're gonna wait like another minute or two to wait for dudes to flow on in. Ah boy, can you share this video with your dog, maybe your estranged siblings, and I could just fill the chat with all sorts of dudes. So we are reading Ecclesiastes. And here we go. Here's Ecclesiastes. I'm reading on the, Gateway Bible app. Yeah, that one. Bible Gateway. There it is. I'm reading Bible Gateway and I let's just jump right into it, sure. Why the heck not? So, let's just jump right into it. Ecclesiastes chapter 1. The Message version. These are the words of the quester, David's son and king in Jerusalem. Quester? I don't know what quester means, man. Smoke! Nothing but smoke. That's what the quester says. There's nothing to anything. It's all smoke. What's there to show for a lifetime of work? A lifetime of working your fingers to the bone. One generation goes its way. The next one arrives. But nothing ever changes. It's business as usual for old planet Earth. The sun comes up and the sun goes down. And then it does it again and again. The same old round. What the fricks with the poetry, fam? I mean, whatevs. The wind blows south, the wind blows north. Around and around and around it blows, blowing this way, then that, the whirling, erratic wind. All the rivers flow into the sea, but the sea never fills up. The rivers keep flowing to the same old place and then start all over and do it again. Everything's boring, utterly boring, relatable. And no one can find any meaning in it. Boring to the eye, boring to the ear. What was will be again. What happened will happen again. There's nothing new on this earth. Year after year, it's the same old thing. Does somebody call out, "Hey, this is new"? Don't get excited. It's the same old story. Nobody remembers what happened yesterday, and the things that will happen tomorrow, nobody will remember them either. Don't count on being remembered. Call me the Quester. I've been king over Israel and Jerusalem. I looked most carefully into everything, searched out all that is done on this earth, and let me tell you, there's not much to write home about. God hasn't made it easy for us. I've seen it all and nothing but smoke. Smoke and spitting into the wind. Life's a corkscrew that can't be straightened. A minus that won't add up. What does that mean? I said to myself, I know more and I'm wiser than anyone before me in Jerusalem. I've stockpiled wisdom and knowledge. What I've finally concluded is that so-called wisdom and knowledge are mindless and witless, nothing but spitting into the wind. Much learning earns you much trouble. The more you know, the more you hurt. Ah, 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 feel the pain. I feel the I feel the angsty Reddit pain in big old David's son and king in Jerusalem. Oh dear, Quester. I don't know. Yeah, don't know. I don't know. I'm interested. Okay, so I'm gonna open up a second version of this. I'm gonna whip out. Yeah. Also, yeah, you should read along in your own Bible, your own version, and see what the differences are. I'd be super interested in that. Um, I'm gonna do that actually right now and look at what the NRSV says. Um, NRSV. Alex, one sec. RSV is fine. Okay. Okay. So let's see. 9 quest. Oh, thank you. Thank you, James. 9 quester, plural questers, a person engaged in a quest. Wow, that is remarkable. KJV says preacher. Yeah, and I'm looking up RSV right now, and it also says preacher. So yeah, good times. That's fun. Okay, I'm not going to show you what the RSV says because that will require me to change screens, and that's too much effort on my part. But so yeah, message says quester, RSV says preacher, and like RSV even like it starts off more interesting as well. Vanities of vanity, says the preacher. Vanities of vanities, all is vanity. What does man gain but all the toil at which he toils under the sun? A generation goes and a generation comes, but the earth remains forever. Compared to the message, which is like smoke, nothing but smoke. That's what the quester says. There's nothing, anything. It's all smoke. What's there to show for a lifetime of work? A lifetime of working your fingers to the bone. Anyway, let's start to chapter 2. That was a fun chapter. That was banter and giggles. That was that was banter and giggles. Hey John, what up? What up? Glad to catch you live. Yeah, cheers, fam. Glad to see you in the comment section. Leave your own little comments, and I'm telling people like, hey, you should read along in your own Bible and your own versions and see what the differences are between the message and yours. Um, before I move on to chapter 2, now, um, before I move on to chapter 2, uh, James said something that was interesting. The Good News translation says philosopher. That is interesting. That's a good one. I was at like a little church group yesterday. I was at a little church group yesterday, and the woman who was talking was going on about the woman who was leading the group that I was in was going on about very briefly that she likes to read in the message version because it's very accessible to her. And when we watch this little live stream, when we read the message together, um, the reality is little nuance moment. Theocracy. Isn't the message version really useful for some people? They find a lot of utility in it. It's really hard to read. It's really hard to read the Bible sometimes, so the message is really accessible. Who cares? If we have fun reading Ecclesiastes in the message version, and if we can have a laugh, point and finger, go ha ha ha, then that's all I want to do. Is it useful for some people? Probably. But can we have a little laugh and a giggle? Yeah, we can. So, chapter 2. Chapter 2, Ecclesiastes, the message version. I said to myself, let's go for it. Experiment with pleasure. Have a good time. But there was nothing to it, nothing but smoke. What do I think of the fun-filled life? Insane. Inane. That's a Dr. Seuss rhyme. My verdict on the pursuit of happiness? Who needs it? The pursuit of happiness is that is a modern Western thing to say, man. With the help of a bottle of wine and all the wisdom I could muster, I tried my level best to penetrate the absurdity of life. That sounds like my Sisyphus video. I wanted to get a handle on anything useful we mortals might do during the years we spend on this earth. Oh, I did great things. I built houses, planted vineyards, designed gardens and parks, and planted a variety of fruit trees in them, made pools of water to irrigate the groves of trees. I bought slaves, a male and female, who had children, giving me even more slaves. Then I acquired large herds and flocks, larger than any before me in Jerusalem. I piled up silver and gold, loot from kings and kingdoms. I gathered a course of singers to entertain me with song, and, most exquisite of all pleasures, vol- vol- voluptuous maidens for my bed. Facts, facts, fam. Oh, hi, I prospered. I left all my predecessors. I left all my predecessors in Jerusalem far behind. Life left them behind in the dust. What's more, I kept a clear head through it all. Everything I wanted, I took. I never said no to myself. I gave into every impulse, held back nothing. I sucked the marrow of pleasure out of every task, my rewards to myself for a hard day's work. Then I took a good look at everything I'd done, looked at all the sweet and hard work. But when I looked, I saw nothing but smoke. Smoke and spitting into the wind. There was nothing to any of it. Nothing. And then I took a hard look of what's smart and what's stupid. What's left to do after you've been king? That's a hard act to follow. Yeah, just do what you can and that's it. But I see that it's better to be smart than stupid. Just as light is better than darkness. Even so, though the smart ones see where they're going and the stupid ones grope in the dark, they're all the same in the end. One fate for all, and that's it. When I realized that my fate's the same as the fool's, I had to ask myself, so why bother being wise? It's all smoke, nothing but smoke. The smart and the stupid both disappear out of sight. In a day or two, they're both forgotten. Yes, both the smart and the stupid die, and that's it. I hate life, as far as I can see. What happens on Earth is a bad business. It's smoke and spitting into the wind. And I hated everything I'd accomplished and accumulated on this earth. I can't take it with me. No, I have to leave it to whoever comes after me, whether they're worthy or worthless. And who's to tell? They'll take over the earthly results of my intense thinking and hard work. Smoke. Big smoke. That's when I called it quits. Give up on everything that I could. That's when I called it quits. Give up on anything that could be hoped for on this earth. What's the point of working your fingers to the bone if you hand over what you work for someone for to that you worked so hard for to someone who never lifted a finger for it? Smoke. That's what it is. A bad business from start to finish. So, what do you get from a hard life of labor? Pain and grief from dusk till dawn. Never a decent night's rest. Nothing but smoke. The best you can do with your life is have a good time and get by the best you can. The way I see it, that's it. Divine fate. Whether we feast or fast, it's up to God. God gave wisdom and knowledge and joy for his favorites, but sinners are assigned a life of hard labor and end up turning their wages over to God's favorites. Nothing but smoke and spitting into the wind. That was chapter 2. And oh boy, wow, that was fun. I think the smoke part seems more in line with the Hebrew. Oh, fair enough. I mean, if it is, then that's pretty cool. That's dope. Um, I wouldn't know specifically, to be honest, but you know, that's cool. Jack Skellington. Year after year, it's the same old thing. Is that a direct quote from Skeleton? I haven't seen The Nightmare Before Christmas since I was a teenager, man. Good movie, though. All right. If no one has any comments or reflections, we're going to move on to chapter 3. Also, just so you know, I'm not going to be looking at the comments, the live chat, until the end of every chapter. Because, like, I got to go back and forth between between pages. Yeah, I think Big Tim Mackers talks about it some. Yeah, fair. I mean, all hail Tim Mackers. Like I'm whatever Big Lad says, I'm not gonna contradict. So good for him, you know. Good for him. All right, we're moving on to chapter 3. All right, big lads, big chums, let's go get into it. Oh frick, that's a lot of repetition. All right, let's go. Chapter 3, Ecclesiastes, the message version. There's an opportune time to do things. A right time for everything on earth. I need to drink some water. Good lord. A right time for birth and another for death. A right time to plant and another to reap. A right time to kill and another to heal. A right time to destroy and another to construct. A right time to cry and another to laugh. A right time to lament and another to cheer. A right time to make love and another to abstain. A right time to embrace and another to part. A right time to search and another to count your losses. A right time to hold on and another to let go. A right time to rip out and another to mend. A right time to shut up and another to speak up. A right time to love and another to hide. A right time to wage war and another to make peace. Facts, true, you know, true, very, very wise. But in the end, does it really make a difference what anyone does? I've had a good look at what God has given us to do. Busy work, mostly. True, God made everything beautiful in itself and in its time. But he's left us in the dark, so we can never know what God is up to, whether he's coming or going. I've decided that there's nothing better to do than go ahead and have a good old time and get the most we can out of life. That's it. Eat, drink, and make the most of your job. It's God's gift. I've also concluded that whatever God does, that's the way it's going to be. Always. No addition, no subtraction. God's done it and that's it. That's so we'll quit asking questions and simply worship in holy fear. Whatever was is. Whatever will be is. That's how it always is with God. I took another good look at what's going on. The very place of judgment, corrupt. The place of righteousness, corrupt. I said to myself, God will judge righteousness and wicked. God will judge righteous and wicked. There's a time for everything, every deed, and there's no getting around it. I said to myself regarding the human race, God's testing the lot of us, showing us up as nothing but animals. Humans and animals come to the same end. Humans die, animals die. We all breathe the same air. So there's really no advantage in being human. None. Everything's smoke. We all end up in the same place. We all came from dust. We all end up as dust. Nobody knows for sure that the human spirit rises to heaven or that the animal spirit sinks into the earth. So I made up my mind that there's nothing better for us men and women than to have a good time in whatever we do. That's our lot. Who knows if there's anything else to life? That was a short and sweet chapter. That was very short and sweet. Count your blessing. Oh jeez, yeah, that's my accent. Count your blessing. Count your little blessing, mate. Yo, mate, there's an opportune time to do things. A right time for everything on earth. I swear. Mate, I would love a Belfast edition of the Bible. Freaking Belfast translation. Yo, let's go. Belfast translation. That would be dope, man. I'd be all over that. I'd read that in a second, yo. There. Man. I should try. Yeah, I should try that sometime, yo. Like Belfast translation of like I don't know, like Genesis chapter 1. Here we go. Yo, here we go. That's it. Yo. Yeah, Tim Newton. Never thought I'd hear an Irish Midwesterner reading Ecclesiastes in the Message Bible, but here we are. Here we are, boys. You, here we are. I wish the opportunity to read the Bible to me every day. You, I wish that they, pay me to read you the. Hey, yo, man, if you'd pay me to read the Bible to you every day, I'd be like, yes, let's do that. Yo, let's do that. Oh man, actually, that's a really good idea. Everywhere we go. Yeah, that's right. Absolutely fantastic idea. Actually, that's a really good idea for a future video. Future live stream is that's a good idea for a future live stream is yeah, Belfast translation of dudes in the chat. There's like 6 dudes in the chat right now. Pick a book of the Bible, or at least 10 chapters. Okay, 10 chapters max. Any book of the Bible, and we'll see if we can make a Belfast translation of it, and I'll read that on a live stream. I will absolutely read Belfast Song of Songs! Belfast translation of Song of Songs! Let's go! Read Ezekiel. Oh no, dude, I'm not reading that. Ulster version of Ezekiel? Nah, man. Like, there's way too many like funky, funny things going on. I can't do that. It's like, bruh, even Ezekiel doesn't know what's happening. But Song of Songs message version must be cursed. It must be cursed, dude. Yeah, it's gotta be. That's true. Yeah, it's some message version of Song of Songs must be cursed. Actually, that's another good future live stream idea. Like, freaking dude, message translation of Song of Songs. We will do a live stream of. Actually, we can live stream that. Okay. So funny little things happened in my life. I can't work this week, so later on in the week, we're gonna do Song of Songs message translation live stream. I really like the idea of doing that. That's a good idea. So You're the mad lads. Let's go. Anyway, yeah, message translation is crazy. I hope it's the wildest. Anyway, we're doing chapter Ecclesiastes chapter 4, the message version. Um, so if you don't have any more comments about chapter 3, we're moving on to chapter 4, lads. Paraphrase. Webs. YouTube Belfast Bro reads the message translation Bible Wild Drunk. Bruh, that's a good idea. That's a really good idea, actually. Yo, live stream reading the song. Okay. Belfast lad reads message translation, Song of Songs, blasted. What at 3 a.m.? What happens next? Yo, that's a title I'd click on, yo. That's a title I'd click on. Bruh. Anyway, we're reading Ecclesiastes chapter 4, the message version. Let's go. Next, I turn my attention to all the outrageous violence that takes place on this planet, yo. The tears of the victims, no one to comfort them. The iron grip of oppressors, no one to rescue the victims from them. So I congratulated the dead who are already dead instead of the living who are still alive. Self-explanatory, okay, message. But luckier than the dead or the living is the person who has never even been, who has never seen the bad business that takes place on this earth. Then I observed all the work and ambition motivated by envy. What a waste! Smoke and spitting into the wind. The fool sits back and takes it easy. His sloth is slow suicide. It's a good line. One handful of peaceful repose is better than 2 fistfuls of worried work. More spitting into the wind. I turned my head and saw yet another wisp of smoke on its way to nothingness. A solitary person, completely alone. No children, no family, no friends. Yet, working obsessively late into the night. Compulsively greedy for more and more. Never bothering to ask, why am I working like a dog? Never having fun. And who cares? More smoke, a bad business. It's better to have a partner than go it alone. Share the work, share the wealth, hey. And if one falls down, the other helps. But if there's no one to help, tough. Poo in a bed warm each other. Alone, you shiver all night. By yourself, you're unprotected. With a friend, you can face the worst. Can you count up a third? Can you round up a third? A 3-strapped rope isn't easily snapped. A 3-stranded rope isn't easily snapped. I say what I say. A poor child with some wisdom is better than an old but foolish king who doesn't know which end is up. I saw a youth just like this start with nothing and go from rags to riches. I saw everyone rally to the rule of this young successor to the king. Even so, the excitement died quickly. The throngs of people soon lost interest. Can't you see it's only smoke and spitting into the wind? I wonder whether or not that poor child he's referring to is his father David. Because that sounds like David's story. You know, that sounds like David's wee story. Okay, that was chapter 4. Who here thinks this was written by Solomon versus written in the wisdom of Solomon? That's a good question, you know. I don't know. I'm no, my power went out. Nah, that sucks, Tim. That sucks. I don't know. I don't really have any opinions on that, to be honest. It was written by the Quester. obviously, Raph. Duh. Freaking small town Bible questions, asking some small town questions. It really is, dude. It's dumb questions. Like, Anyway, TBH, TBH, it was the quester. Wasn't Solomon, and it wasn't the wisdom of Solomon, it was the quester. Yo. Right. Moving on to chapter 5, dudes. Lads and chums. Right. If no one's got any commentary on that last chapter, then we're moving on. I need way I need way more water. How did I miss that, lol? It's because you're silly. It's because you're a wee bit silly, lad. But that's fine. No one's looking down on you. No one's looking down on you, Raph. It's cool. Right, chapter 5, boys. Chapter 5, big lads. We're reading Ecclesiastes, chapter 5, the message version. And these last several chapters have been super small. Like chapter 2 was like super long, but these ones have been small. Right? Pardon me. Hey, yo, like and subscribe if you burp sometimes. Watch your step when you enter God's house. Enter to learn. That's far better than mindlessly offering a sacrifice, doing more harm than good. Don't shoot off your mouth or speak before you think. Don't be too quick to tell God what you think he wants to hear. God's in charge, not you. The less you speak, the better. Overwork makes for restless sleep. Overtalk shows you up as a fool. When you tell God you'll do something, do it now. Wow, okay. God takes no pleasure in foolish drivel. God takes no pleasure in foolish drivel. Vow it, then do it. Far better not to vow in the first place than to vow and not pay up. Don't let your mouth make a total sinner of you. When called to account, you won't get by with, sorry, I didn't mean it. Why risk provoking God to angry retaliation? But against all illusion and fantasy and empty talk, there's always this rock foundation. Fear gods. It's actually good advice, yo. Don't be too upset when you see the poor kicked around and justice and rights violated all over the place. Exploitation filters down from one petty official to another. There's no end to it, and nothing can be done about it. But the good earth doesn't cheat anybody. Even a bad king is honestly served by a field. No one who loves money is the one who loves money is never satisfied with money, nor the one who loves wealth with big profits. More smoke. The more you loot, the more loot you get, the more looters show up. And what fun is that to be robbed in broad daylight? Hard and honest work earns a good night's sleep, whether supper is beans or steak. Okay. But a rich man's belly gives him insomnia. That's a line. Here's a piece of bad luck. Here's a piece of bad luck I've seen happen. A man hoards far more wealth than is good for him, and then loses it all in a bad business deal. Hey, yo, hopefully that happens to big Jeffrey Bezos. He fathered a child, but hasn't a cent left to give him. He arrived naked from the womb of his mother. He'll leave in the same condition with nothing. This is bad luck for sure. Naked he came, naked he went. Ow, I'm freaking burnt by the incense. So, what was the point of working for a salary as smoke? All for a miserable life spent in the dark? After looking at the way things are on this earth, here's what I've decided is the best way to live. Take care of yourself, have a good time, and make the most of whatever job you have for as long as God gives you life. And that's about it. That's the human lot. Yes, we should make the most of what God gives, but both the bounty and the capacity to enjoy it, accepting what's given and delighting in the work. It's God's gift. God deals out joy in the present, the now. It's useless to brood over how long we might live. You know, pretty good advice, all things considered. That was good advice. I want you to read Ecclesiastes. I want you to read Ezekiel 23. Uh, no, 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 no. The Lord is punishing me for my insolence. I once again lost par. Ah, sorry to hear that, Tim. I like beans though. Yo, I like beans. I like beans as well. I like a good wheat bean. Yo, in my country, if you go to the chip shop, the chippy, um, a pretty common meal you'll hear asked for, and like I know on the internet, dudes be like, "Yo, British food's trash," and I'll go neither here nor there on that. But chips, okay, fries, whatever, chips, beans, cheese. That's called a cheesy beano. Let's go. It's not bad at all. If you like beans, it's a if you like beans, chips, and it's a good combination. It's fun. It's proper like you're out blasted. It's a proper like sesh on the town like food. That's like drunk food, dude. So if you're out in the town getting blasted, like you go for a wee cheesy beano, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? W Ecclesiastes, yeah, that's right. I do like a good wee Ecclesiastes, and to be honest, like uh, these chapters have been full of like really dope advice. It feels really existential, which was one of the reasons why I want to read it. Because the theme of the channel has been existentialism within the frame of the Christian life, towards feeling as though one is jihaded in the ecclesial context. Ecclesial existentialism. So Ecclesiastes is really, I think, to some extent fitting in the experience of that. And I wanted to read Ecclesiastes for that reason. Plus, message version, the reputation it's got. It just seems real funny. Anyway, I'm explaining the joke. Moving on to Ecclesiastes chapter 6. So, Ecclesiastes chapter 6, if no one's got any more commentary, we're moving on. Yeah, I really liked the advice of that last chapter. It was good advice. My incense stick is running out. Pile on for a sec. I'ma grab me another incense stick. Ah, you bastard, you. Give me a minute. All right, let's go. All right, on. I'm gonna have to clean up after this. But what can you do? I knew that was gonna happen. Right. So, this incense stick is siege and citrus. This one. I don't know what the last one was. It doesn't say. Yeah, freaking air conditioner. Hey, let's go. Hey. Ooh, 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 let's go. Incense. We like a little bit of incense in this household. We do. The only thing, okay, so if you go to a church that does like actual wine and it's Eucharist slash communion slash Lord's Supper, I like to go to the churches that the actual wine. Totally different experience from grape than the silly little grape juice. Totally different experience. The church that I was attending for a while back in my country, back in Northern Ireland, served communion with port wine. It was really nice. It was really good. I liked it a lot. I think it was actually white port as well. So like, dudes had taste, right? Right. Out of all the parasocial relationships I've been in, ours is one of my favorites. I'm glad you think so. I'm glad you think so, big lad Tim. Um, parasocial relationships. At least you're self-aware as well. To be honest, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. I'm actually going to be making some videos soon about on that topic of parasocial relationships, and we'll be getting back to Ecclesiastes chapter 6 in a second. My next video is going to be talking about my next video is going to be discussing community, um, community, um, digital relationships, um, parasocial relationships, and the intersection between the breakdown of physical community. Um, the breakdown of physical community, um, how digital communities rise up in the replacement of physical communities, and the intersection between that and church attendance, the ecclesia. The video is going to be broadly speaking about digital community, an ecclesiology of parasocial relationships and digital communities. Um, and I'm excited for that one because I take the topic of community very seriously. I really like the topic of community. It's very interesting. I think it's very relevant, especially for our generation, the time that we live in right now. Because like so many dudes struggle with loneliness and have no idea how to fix that loneliness, and so might look on the internet to try and solve it. But parasocial communities never truly solve the problem. It's good for people who know literally nobody, but it's not a real solution. And I think the church is a fantastic vessel through which the crisis of death of community and loneliness crisis, the church can be a great means towards fixing these problems. But it's how one goes about doing that is a big question. So I'm excited for that video. And burning siege. Yeah, I mean, it's a, yeah, siege and citrus, scented incense. So banter and fun. Anyway, Ecclesiastes. We're reading Ecclesiastes chapter 6, the message version. Read along in your own Bibles back home, whatever translation you use to see what the differences are between the message and yours. And, you know, maybe just have a little fun while we're at it. Right? I looked long and hard at what goes on around here. And let me tell you, things are bad. And people feel it. There are people, for instance, on whom God showers everything: money, property, reputation, all they ever wanted or dreamed of. And then God doesn't let them enjoy it. Some stranger comes along and has all the fun. It's more of what I'm calling smoke, a bad business. Say a couple have scores of children and live a long, long life, but never enjoy themselves, even though they end up with a big funeral. I'd say that a stillborn baby gets the better deal. Friggin' hell, dude. It, it gets its start in a mist and ends up in the dark, unnamed. It sees nothing and knows nothing. It but is better off by far than anyone living. Dude, Ecclesiastes is the sad boy of the Bible. Even if someone lived 1,000 years, make it 2,000, but didn't enjoy anything, then what's the point? Doesn't everyone end up in the same place? We work to feed our appetites. Meanwhile, our souls go hungry. So, what advantage has a siege over a fool? Or over some poor wretch who barely gets by? Just grab whatever you can while you can. Don't assume something better might turn up by the. Sorry. Don't assume something better might turn up by and by. All it amounts to anyway is smoke and spitting into the wind. Whatever happens, happens. Its destiny is fixed. You can't argue with fate. The more words that are spoken, the more smoke there is in the air. And who is better off? And who knows what's better? And who knows what's best for us as we live out our meager smoke and shadow lives? And who can tell any of us the next chapter of our lives? That was chapter 6 of Ecclesiastes, a message version. I have thoughts on this. Remind me to DM you later. I go for it. Go for it, Tim. Actually, yo, Tim, just DM me now. Um, actually, DM me now with just like a little emoji, and then I will remember. Um, Why do I respectfully tell one of the people in my youth group to get rid of their message Bible and get a real one? I mean, I mean, eh, respectfully, I'm gonna take a page from Ecclesiastes, um, and be like, ultimately, who cares? Who cares? I mean, we all, one person reads the Message Bible, another person reads the KJV Bible, but we all die in the end. All smoke spitting into the wind. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, who cares, I guess. I mean, I'm not a fan. From what I've been reading, I'm not a fan of the message. Like, it doesn't read like the versions I like RSV, RSV. Uh, frick, dude, James gotta go. Bye, James. We wish you well. Um, love you all. I think. See you around, James. Take care and God bless. Take care and God bless, big lad. Um, yeah. I mean, um, if dude in the youth group needs a really easy and accessible version of the Bible, NKJV is pretty accessible. It's really easy to read. NIV is really easy to read. Oh, hold on. Sorry, frick, I just got trolled. Oh god, don't I look silly? Frick. Oh wait, frick. Sorry. Red was trolling. Didn't even read the entire freaking comment. No, I do look like a dumbass. What happened here? Was trolling a KJV only guy earlier who thinks Yahweh is a pagan god and the true god is Jehovah. Bruh, that is cringe. Dude's the big cringe lord. Man whipped out the clown makeup and put on the big red nose for that one. It was it was marginally amusing. Marginally. Only marginally. Can we turn Ecclesiastes into an emo Christian album? Yo. I mean, I would. TBH, to be honest, I would read that. I would read that. I am reading that. I would listen to that. If what I actually wanted to do, if this wasn't like against some kind of terms and services, I wanted to start the live stream off by listening to a little bit of MCR. My Chemical Romance. I'm not okay. I'm not okay. Hey, just start off the live stream with that, then just like run right into Ecclesiastes and start going on about how everything sucks and things are crap. That sounds like a fun time, but I don't know, man. Terms and services and all that big bollocks. Anywho, we're reading Ecclesiastes, the message version, chapter 7. LOL classic emoji. Yeah. Ecclesiastes. Yo. I've been saying yo way too much though. Joseph knows what's up. Joseph is in the big boy chair. He's wearing the pants in the family. Right, Ecclesiastes, chapter 7. We're reading the message version. Let's go. A good reputation is better than a fat bank account. Who's the dude who wrote this thing? Eugene Peterson. Eugene Peterson gave us the best translation under the sun. A good reputation's better than a fat bank account. You hear that, bloody Jeffy? You hear that, Jeffrey Bezos? We Jeffrey Bezos. Anyway, your death date tells more than your birth date. You learn more at a funeral than at a feast. Fair enough. After all, that's where we'll end up. We might discover something from it. Crying is better than laughing. It blotches the face, but it scores the heart. I hate crying, man. It sucks. Sages invest themselves in hurt and grieving. Fools waste their lives in fun and games. That's a line. You'll get more from the rebuke of a sage than from the song and dance of fools. The giggles of fools are like the cracking of twigs under the cooking pot and like smoke. Brutality stupefies even the wise and destroys the strongest heart. Endings are better than beginnings. Sticking to it is better than standing out. Don't be quick to fly off the handle. Anger boomerangs. You can spot a fool by the lumps on his head. Don't always be asking, where are the good old days? Wise folks don't ask questions like that. Hey, yeah. Sorry, bro. That just reminds that where are the good old days? Wise folks don't ask questions like that. Sorry, that just reminds me of like the cringe lords who are like strong men create good times create weak men create bad times, hard times create strong men. Those cringe lords on the internet just reminds me of that. Anyway, sorry, some of those cringe lords might be in the chat. Chads and kings, those chads and kings. Anyway, those chads and sigmas. Wisdom is better when it's paired with money, especially if you get both while you're still living. Double protection, wisdom and wealth. Plus, this bonus, wisdom energizes its owner. Take a good look at God's work. Who could simplify and reduce creation's curves and angles to a plain, straight line? On a good day, enjoy yourself. On a bad day, examine your conscience. God arranges for both kinds of days so that we don't take anything for granted. That was a lot of wisdom, TBH, NGL. I've seen it all in my brief and pointless life. Here, a good person cut down in the middle of doing good. There, a bad person living a long life of sheer evil. So don't knock yourself out being good, and don't go overboard being wise. Believe me, you won't get anything out of it. But don't press your luck by being bad either, and don't be reckless. Why die needlessly? It's best to stay in touch with both sides of an issue. A person who fears God deals responsibly and with all of reality, not just a piece of it. Wisdom puts more strength in one wise person than 10 strong men give to a city. There's not one totally good person on earth, not one who is truly pure and sinless. Don't eavesdrop on the conversation of others. What if the gossips about you and what if the gossips about you and you'd rather not hear it? You've done that a few times, haven't you? Said things behind someone's back and you wouldn't say it to his face. That's a good line, to be honest. I tested everything in my search for wisdom. I set out to be wise, but it was beyond me, far beyond me, and deep, oh so deep. Does everyone ever find it? I concentrated with all my might, studying and exploring and seeking wisdom, the meaning of life. I wanted to identify evil and stupidity, foolishness and craziness. One discovery: a woman can be a bitter pill to swallow. full of seductive scheming and grasping. Brad, the Sigma males are going to love that line. The lucky can escape her, the undiscerning get caught. At least this is my experience. What I, the quester, there's that line again, the quester, I've pieced together as I've tried to make sense of life. But the wisdom I've looked for, I haven't found. I didn't find one man or woman in 1,000 worth my while. Yet I did spot one ray of light in this murk. God gave men and women true and upright. God gave men and women true and upright. We're the ones who've made a mess of things. Oh, right. Sorry. God made men and women true and upright. We are the ones who've made a mess of things. Okay. I liked that chapter a lot. I liked that chapter quite a lot. It read fairly well. Who's this quester? The quester, Dora the Explorer sounding dude. Yeah. The quester is, the very start of the Ecclesiastes, actually, I have it right here. Hold on. Ecclesiastes starts off, at least for me in the RSV, the words of the preacher. And so, you're going to get a lot of different translations that say, the preacher. A lot of ones say the preacher. I think James earlier in the chat, or Raf, I don't remember which one, said that their version says the philosopher. But it is the narrator of the book. In the Message version, the quester is the narrator, and quester means a person who is out on a quest. James was the one who told us that. Helpful. That was really helpful. Okay. Can you offer a prayer for the chicken I have in the rooster? It won't cook. Heavenly Father, thank you for providing with chicken and the pleasures of enjoying chicken. I pray that you would cook it, as we cannot eat it raw. Amen. What did he say? I don't know, fam. What was the bit? What was the bit that he said? I don't know. Yeah, I've learned all I've learned at funerals is that open caskets are weird. Yeah, I guess can be. Guess they can be. Anyway, I'm gonna grab some water first. I'm gonna go grab a little bit of water, and then I'm gonna be back because, hey ho, fam, reading the Bible out loud is who saw this coming? Dries your throat. So, frick, I need to put the incense down. 1 sec. Right. Just stick out there. Hold on. Can you see that? Can you see incense? Let's leave it there. There you go. While I'm gone looking for water in my fridge, you can look at the incense burn. Hey, what's up? It's me, the devil. Once again, a reference to the Snapcube fan dub of Shadow the Hedgehog. What a great and funny what a great and funny fan dub it was. Right. 1 sec. Give me a minute. Give me a second here, kids. Just let me whisper into your wee ears. Is that nice? Does that sound nice? Does that sound nice when I just whisper into your little ear? I'm just putting the little microphone on the incense. All right. Um. Right. We're moving on to chapter 8. Is the couch okay? I don't know. Probably. I love the Sonic fan. Those X-Men's the best. Yeah, it's fun. Yo, that Sonic I mean no, sorry, that Shadow the Hedgehog fan dub. Oh dude, the devil is so funny, dude. That was cracking good fun, you know. I freaking loved that one. That was great. Anyway, we're reading Ecclesiastes, chapter 8, the message version. Uh, let us know, which version of the Bible are you following along with? You're following along. I know you are. You have your Bible out in front of you. And just let me know which translation you're using. You know? There's nothing better than being wise. Cool. Knowing how to interpret the meaning of life. Wisdom puts light in the eyes and gives gentleness to words and manners. Do what your king commands. You give a secret oath of obedience. Don't worryingly second guess your orders or try to back out when the task is unpleasant. You're serving his pleasure, not yours. The king has the last word. Who dares to say to him, "What are you doing?" Carrying out orders won't hurt you a bit. The wise person obeys promptly and accurately. Yes, there's a right time and way for everything, even though, unfortunately, we miss it for the most part. It's true that no one knows what's going to happen or when. Who's around to tell? No one can control the wind or lock it in a box. No one has any say so regarding the day of death. No one can stop a battle in its tracks. No one who does evil can be saved by evil. All this I observed as I tried my best to understand all that's going on in this world. Sorry, I read that poorly. As long as men and women have the power to hurt each other, this is the way it is. One time I saw wicked men giving a solemn burial in holy ground. When the people returned to the city, they delivered flowery eulogies. And in the very place where wicked acts were doing, and in the very place where wicked acts were done by those very men, more smoke indeed. Because the sentence against evil deeds is so long in coming, people in general think they can get by with murder. Even though a person sins and gets by with it hundreds of times throughout a long life, I'm still convinced that the good life is reserved for the person who fears God, who lives reverently in his presence, and that the evil person will not experience a good life. No matter how many days he lives, they'll all be as flat and colorless as a shadow because he doesn't fear God. Here's something that happens all the time and makes no sense at all. Good people get what's coming to the wicked, and bad people get what's coming to the good. I tell you, this makes no sense. It's smoke. So, I'm all for just going ahead and having a good time. The best possible. The only earthly good men and women can look forward to is to eat and drink well and have a good time. Compensation for the struggle for survival these few years God gives us on earth. When I determine to load up on wisdom and examine everything taking place on earth, I realize that if you keep your eyes open day and night without ever blinking, you'll still figure out the meaning of what God is doing on this earth, you'll still never figure out the meaning of what God is doing on this earth. Search as hard as you like. You're not going to make sense of it. No matter how smart you are, you you won't get to the bottom of it. That was chapter 8 of Ecclesiastes, the message version. Okay. NLT. Yo, Joseph's reading along. Joseph's reading along and he's whipped out the NLT, the New Living Translation. Good for him. I'm actually glad to see that dudes are reading along because you get to see a message and your version side by side. And I don't know. I mean, I just think that's interesting. Maybe you don't give a toss. And fair enough. If you don't give a toss, like that's cool and fine. Like that's dandy in its own right. That's cool, fine, and dandy in its own way, I guess. Right. Gotta go see if the prayer was answered. Just believe, man. Just believe. If it wasn't answered, it's because you didn't believe hard enough. Right. We're moving on to Ecclesiastes chapter 9, the message version. Also, by the way, the live stream will be ending at 7 o'clock, like regardless. So if hopefully we will finish Ecclesiastes. I don't remember how many chapters there are. I don't think it's a lot. So we actually could finish it like here. But we need to, scoot, scoot, scoot. We need to scoot the caboot. Come on. Right. Ecclesiastes chapter 9, the message version. Well, I took all this in and thought it through, inside and out. Here's what I understood: the good, the wise, and all they do are in God's hands. But day by day, whether it's love or hate, they're dealing with it. They don't care. Oh, sorry. I read that wrong. In God's hand, but day by day, whether it's love or hate they're dealing with, they don't know. Wow, where did I get they don't care? Friggin' hell. Um, Anything's possible. It's one fate for everybody, righteous and wicked, good people, bad people, the nice and the nasty, worshippers and non-worshippers, committed and uncommitted. I find this outrageous. Like, the worst thing about living on this earth, that everyone's lumped together in one fate. Is it any wonder that so many people are obsessed with evil? Is it any wonder that people go crazy right and left? Life leads to death. That's it. Still, anyone selected out for life has hope. For, as they say, a living dog is better than a dead lion. The living at least know something, even if it's only that they're going to die. But the dead know nothing and get nothing. They're a minus that no one remembers. Their loves, their hates, yes, even their dreams are long gone. There's not a trace of them. There's not a trace of them left in the affairs of this earth. Seize life. Eat bread with gusto. With gusto? What a dumb way of saying that, dude. Drink wine with a robust heart. You. Oh, yes. God, drink wine with a robust heart. Oh, yes. God takes pleasure in your pleasure. See that? Don't listen to any of those. Don't listen to any of those. Drinking alcohol's a sin. Like, nonsense. Like, I mean, definitely the message I'm taking away from Ecclesiastes. Enjoy your life. You're going to die, so you might as well enjoy it. Anyway. Oh yes, God takes pleasure in your pleasure. Dress festively every morning. Don't skimp on colors and scarves. Relish life with the spice you love each and every day of your precarious life. Each day is God's gift. It's all you get in exchange for the hard work of staying alive. Make the most of each one. Whatever turns up, grab it and do it with and heartily. This is your last and only chance at it. For there's neither work to do nor thoughts to think in the company of the dead, where you're most certainly headed. I took another walk around the neighborhood and realized that on this earth, as it is, the race is not always to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, nor satisfaction to the wise, nor riches to the smart, nor grace to the learned. Sooner or later, bad luck hits us all. No one can predict misfortune. Like fish caught in a cruel net or birds in a trap, so men and women are caught by accidents, evil and sudden. Like and subscribe if you burp sometimes. One day, as I was observing how wisdom fares on this earth, I saw something that made me sit up and take notice. There was a small town with only a few people in it. A strong king came and mounted an attack, building trenches and attack posts around it. There was a poor but wise man in the town whose wisdom saved the town, but he was promptly forgotten. He was only a poor man, after all. All the same, I still say with that, all the same, I still say that wisdom is better than muscle, even though the wise poor man was treated with contempt and soon forgotten. The quiet words of the wise are more effective than the ranting of a king of fools. Wisdom is better than warheads, but one hot head can ruin the good earth. That's true. That's true, Eugene. That's true, we Peterson. Okay, that was chapter 9. The power of prayer, Tim. Ach, the wee power of prayer. You can send me your sowing of seeds to me in the mail. Cash App works for me. There. I would be interested in some of your thoughts, chat. I would be interested. What have you thought of Ecclesiastes, the message version, thus far? I've thought personally that it's been interesting. It's been an interesting read. I mean, it definitely feels like it has been written for lay people. Um, this translation was not written for like academics in mind at all. It's not been written for um if you're doing a Bible study, like this version is not written for that. Like to be honest, um, and like so when I was in Bible college, one of the first things that they like kind of told us, like when you're exegeting the text, which means to pull out of the text, effectively the a tool of Bible study. Um, you want to read many translations. You don't want to read just one. You want to read many so that you could grasp the common denominators between the translations, what each translation is trying to what each translation says different from the other. And it's also good to know like what is the intention and purpose of a single translation and what are the words it's using to communicate versus the words of other translations. Um, so you're encouraged to use translations like RSV, NRSV, compare, and also like ESV, NLT, blah blah blah. The one translation they were like, don't read the message version. Well, you can if you want in like devotionals, but for your essays, you will be marked down if you cite the message version. So that's all. Um, yeah, the message version to me seems like a really good. If it works for you, then that's great and that's fine. Kind of translation. Um, especially for like devotionals, I would never I would recommend it for like this is your personal devotion time, and you just get a lot from it personally, and that's fine. That works for you. That works for you. I would never recommend this for a Bible study. Not a chance. But that's fine too. I don't think Peterson meant it to be a translation, just like a commentary. I don't really know anything about the history of the message, but I'd be interested in hearing what you guys think of that. What you guys think of what you have thought of this message version. Anyway, all right, let's move on. We have 15 minutes until the end of the live stream. Chapter 10 of Ecclesiastes, the message version. Let's go. I'm going to drink some water first. I really need it. I mean, I'm happy to use incense as a microphone, especially for the bit, but this thing right in my face this entire time, it's been, it doesn't complement well to non-stop talking. I need another microphone. When we do the memes for Jesus is video recommendation, drunk Belfast man reads the Songs of Solomon message translation. Real. What happens next? Yeah, I mean, I would probably slap a microphone to. If I'm drinking out of a bottle, I would slap a microphone on the bottle, or if I'm drinking from a glass, the microphone will be on the glass. That works for me, I think. Anyway, chapter 10, message version of Ecclesiastes. Dead flies and perfume make it stink. I won't be actually drunk, by the way. It's just a bit. It's just for the bit. Dead flies and perfume make it stink, and a little foolishness decomposes much wisdom. That's actually a good line. Wise thinking leads to right living. Stupid thinking leads to wrong living. Fools on the road have no sense of direction. The way they walk tells the story. There goes the fool again. Whatever. That was crap. If a ruler loses his temper against you, don't panic. A calm disposition quiets intemperate rage. Here's a piece of bad business I've seen on this earth. An error that can be blamed on whoever is in charge. Sorry, that was bad reading on my part. I've seen an error that can be blamed on whoever is in charge. Immaturity is given a place of prominence, while maturity is made to take a back seat. I've seen unproven upstarts riding in style, while experienced veterans are put out to pasture. Caution, the trap you set might catch you. Warning, your accomplice in crime might double cross you. Safety first. Quarrying stones is dangerous. Right, okay. Be alert, felling trees is hazardous. Remember, the duller the axe, the harder the work. Use your head. The more brains, the less muscle. If the snake bites before it's been charmed, what's the point in sending for the charmer? The words of a wise person are gracious. The talk of a fool self-destructs. He starts out talking nonsense and ends up spouting insanity and evil. Fools talk way too much, chatter and stuff they know nothing about. A decent day's work so fatigues fools that they can't find their way back to town. Unlucky the land whose king is a young pup, and whose princes party all night. Lucky the land whose king is mature, where the princes behave themselves and don't drink themselves silly. A shiftless man lives in a tumble-down shack. A lazy woman ends up with a leaky roof. Laughter and bread go together, and wine gives sparkle to life. But it's money. But it's money that makes the world go round. Don't badmouth your leaders, not even under your breath, and don't abuse your betters, even in the privacy of your home. Loose talk has a way of giving. Sorry, loose talk has a way of getting picked up and spread around. Little birds drop the crumbs of your gossip far and wide. That was chapter 10 of Ecclesiastes, the message version. To me, caution. Uh, to me, that chapter of Ecclesiastes, to be honest, felt more like Proverbs. It felt like Proverbs to me. Like that was just the whole like smack talk of Proverbs. Because it was just like a whole load of just like wise sayings here and there, all and up the show. I'm gonna have to get a new microphone soon because this stick is running out. I am not burning another stick. Okay. If anyone doesn't have any, remember, did the end of verse 20 predict Twitter? Oh, hold on, we need to go back and check what verse 20 is. Oh, dude. Yeah, little birds, drop crumbs of your gossip far and wide. Ah, ah, dear me, dear me. Yeah, dude, that's what was happening. Yo, Tim Mackers needs to get on this one. He doesn't know what Ecclesiastes is about. Joseph does, though. Tim Mackers needs to get on Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 20. Yo, dude, provide me a better commentary that if your commentary doesn't talk about Twitter at the end of Ecclesiastes 10, your commentary is a load of crap. Right, let's move on. Chapter 11, Ecclesiastes, message version. Right. How many chapters do we have left? I think it ends at chapter 12. Oh, it does end at chapter 12, and the live stream ends in 7 minutes. Okay, dudes, we're going through. This is lightning round, all right? Lightning round. Okay, come on, let's go. Serious face. Be generous. Invest in acts of charity. Charity, freaking hell. Charity yields high returns. Don't hoard your goods. Spread them around. Karl Marx agrees. Be a blessing to others. This could be your last night. When the clouds are full of water, it rains. When the wind blows down a tree, it lies where it falls. Don't sit there watching the wind. Do your own work. Don't stare at the clouds. Get on with your life. Just as you'll never understand the mystery of life forming in a pregnant woman, so you'll never understand the mystery at work in all that God does. Go to work in the morning and stick to it until evening without watching the clock. You never know from moment to moment how your work will turn out in the end. Oh, how sweet the light of day. Oh, how wonderful to live in the sunshine. Even if you live a long time, don't take a single day for granted. Take delight in each light filled hour, remembering that there will also be many dark days and that most of what comes your way is smoke. You who are young, make the most of your youth. Relish your youthful vigor. Follow the impulses of your heart. If something looks good to you, pursue it. But know also that you are not just but know also that not just anything goes. You have to answer for God for every last bit of it. Live footless and fancy. Right. Live footless and fancy free. Woo! But don't be young forever. You won't be young forever. Youth lasts about as long as smoke. My incense stick is about to end. So here we go. Yeah. Irish granny reads Proverbs 30 while making Sunday dinner. Yeah, she does. While making Sunday dinner. Yeah, she does. Proverbs 31. Sorry, he meant Proverbs 31. I don't know. Whatever. Irish granny reads Proverbs anything while making Sunday dinner. Yeah, she does, dude. Yeah, she does. Ah, dude. Everyone needs a wee Irish granny who makes Sunday dinner. Like, she's working her wee heart out. Oh, dude, Tim was here for the last live stream where I was like talking all sorts of smack about dinners. Everyone needs a wee Irish granny, like making the wee Sunday dinners. She's working her wee heart out at sorry, the live stream ends in like 4 minutes. Okay, who cares about grannies? Let's go. Who cares about grannies? Ecclesiastes 12, the message version. Uh Honor and enjoy your creator while you're still young. Before the years take their toll and your vigor wanes, before your vision dims and the world blurs, and the winter years keep you close to the fire. In old age, your body no longer serves you well. Okay, the stick is gone. Incense bad, and I mean, sorry, incense good, incense gone though. In old age, your body no longer serves you so well. Muscles slacken, grip weakens, joints stiffen. The shades are pulled down on the world. You don't come and go at will. You can't come and go at will. Things grind to a halt. The hum of a household fades away. You are awakened now by songbird. Hikes to the mountains are a thing of the past. Even a stroll down the road has its terrors. Your hair turns apple blossom white, adoring a fragile and impotent matchstick body. Right? Yes, you're well on your way to eternal rest. While your friends make plans for your funeral, life, lovely while it lasts, is soon over. Life, as we know it, precious and beautiful, ends. The body is put back in the same ground it came from. The spirit returns to God, who first breathed it. It's all smoke, nothing but smoke. The quester says that everything's smoke. Besides being wise himself, the quester also taught others knowledge. He weighed himself, examined and arranged many proverbs. The quester did his best to find the right words and write to plain truth. Sorry. The quester did his best to find the right words and write the plain truth. The words of the wise prod us to live well. They're like nails hammered home, holding life together. They are given by God, the one shepherd. But regarding anything beyond this, dear friend, go easy. There's no end to the publishing of books, and constant study wears you out. So you're no good for anything else. The last and final word is this: fear God, do what he tells you. And that's it. Eventually, God will bring everything that we do out into the open and judge it according to its hidden intent, whether it's good or evil. And that is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, message version. Okay. So, that was fun. I liked that a lot. I thought that was a really fun live stream. It's 7 o'clock, and so the live stream is over effectively. I'm not gonna leave just yet, um, but I will probably leave in the next 5 minutes. So that was Ecclesiastes. That was the book of Ecclesiastes message version. I would love to know what you thought of that translation. Um, Personally, I thought, it was okay. I mean, it was a bit silly here and there, there were just some ways of saying things that I thought, uh, kind of cringe, maybe. Yes, maybe. Yeah, maybe. It was a little cringe sometimes, but it was trying its best. Eugene Peterson was just giving us the translation that was trying its wee, just trying its wee darling, just doing its wee best. And it was okay. So that's fine. Um, I liked it. I really like the Book of Ecclesiastes. I think it's a very fresh. I think the Book of Ecclesiastes is a very, very interesting book. It reminds me. I think my content reminds me of it. Book of Ecclesiastes reminds me of some of the stuff I go for in my content. So reading Ecclesiastes seems to follow the theme of my channel, I think, and that's fun. Uh, Ecclesiastes has a lot of interesting wisdom. Um, there's a lot of wisdom that is in Ecclesiastes that seem to contradict some of the more you know granny conservative variations of Christianity, or variations of one's playing out of their faith, like when the reader, the quester, sorry, when the narrator is telling us that you're gonna die, eat and be merry, enjoy your life, just enjoy it. You enjoy it as much as you can. Eat good food, drink as much as you want. Well, as a claim of life, not like literally go out, I suppose, not necessarily go out and get hammered and destroyed, because the author also seems to at one point view uh, drunkenness as drunkenness from like the ruling class as a curse, and yes, basically it is. um so some of the things that I took from some of the wisdom in Ecclesiastes, I find complements virtue ethics. Because there was a lot of the author going on about how the author was there was a lot of commentary on how don't be all that over there because it is bad, and don't be all that over here because it's bad. Um, but proportional, but living out your life in proportion to pursuing the pleasures of life, because God takes pleasure in your pleasure. Takes pleasure in the pleasure of humanity, um, which makes sense, I think. But not to go so far one way or the other, because both ways in their extremes lead to death. Reminds me of virtue ethics. So it's very, in that way, Aristotelian, um, I suppose, um, which is cool. I like that a lot. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. And yes, I liked it a lot. Ecclesiastes, one of my favorite books of the Bible, next to Genesis, I think probably. Genesis is my favorite book of the Bible, so Ecclesiastes is probably number two. Um, I'm gonna look at Joseph's comment here because he's commenting on relevant. Walking around the neighborhood was a weird translation. Bible Project goes into how it's the middle of the wisdom literature after Proverbs, but before Job. I'd recommend watching that. Yeah, I've seen Bible Project talk about that. I didn't remember that, so that is actually quite helpful. That's useful to know. That's good to know. Um, thank you. Joseph, walking. So you said walking around the neighborhood was a weird translation. What did your NLT say? I'm interested in that because, also, to be honest, I do not remember what chapter that was. Um, so was it in chapter one? No, it wasn't. Might have been chapter two. Frick, dude, I don't remember what chapter it was. Let's go Ecclesiastes 3. Let's see what Ecclesiastes 3 says. Because I know, like, I think walking around the neighborhood was like one of the first things written in one of these. No, frick, I don't remember. Screw it, I don't remember. But Joseph, if you know what the translation you were reading and what blah blah blah, etc., answer my question, please. So I like it. Yeah, Ecclesiastes. It was good. Let me know what you think. I'm very interested. I'm very interested in knowing what you think. Otherwise, do I have any other comments? Any other commentary to offer? Is Tim still here? Yay, Tim. Show your face. Show your face. Yeah, I don't remember either. Lol. Let me check. Cheers, champ. Thank you very much, chum. Yeah, it was good no, not a good translation. The translation was interesting. It was fun. I wouldn't recommend it. I can't say at the end of the message version of Ecclesiastes, I can't say I recommend it. So, let's say, for instance, rating it out of 10. I think there should be multiple categories. Like, how easy is it to read? So, live chat, if you can help me. How many what categories should there be to determine whether or not this is a good or bad translation? Beyond, let's just assume that the words are representative of the original language, and we're not concerned terribly much about, you know, literal, like, word for word translation. More like lay readability. Like, it's out of 10. The message is like, well, it's definitely like 7 or 8. 7 or 8 theops out of 10. 7 or 8 theocracies out of 10. I would say that's probably about right. But utility as a translation, 2. Utility as a exegetical tool, 2 theops out of 10. Anyway, I have stayed on this live stream much longer than I should have. A live stream was supposed to end at 7 o'clock. It's 7:08. I'm just gonna end 9. So God bless. It was fun. I hope you had fun, and we're probably gonna live stream again this week, and we'll do Song of Songs message translation. I think that sounds like a lot of fun. We might do that. We might not. I'll do a community post about it, and I'll also post on my Instagram. I'll post on Instagram in my story about it. So, God bless, have fun, and I don't know, like, love your neighbor or something like that. I don't know. Frick. Well, go for it.